Hello and welcome back to the end of another week. Mr. Benji says hi. We're in the kitchen because we have outlets. The electrician came by and we actually added this one. But yeah, he got all the outlets in and Francis worked on getting all the plates on. So the only one that we're missing now is this one because it was mounted a little bit too close to this unit. So he has to actually make a custom plate for that. But yeah, so all of the outlets are in. Most of them, except for that one, have the little custom back plates that Francis made for the kitchen. So the kitchen is so close to being done. Yes, we are still waiting for the doors, which I'm sure will come. This back room is still kind of a mess. However, I did clean up a bit because we had the folks come out to do the final inspection for our solar installation. And that was required as part of the process to get paid. We are part of a like a scheme where we produce solar energy from our panels and then sell it to the local grid. But we're not getting paid now because it hasn't gotten through the whole process, and they give themselves a year to approve it. So we're waiting. As you can see out here, Francis did his weed whacking. So it's looking really good. I always like it when he gets the weed whacker stuff done. So that's looking great. The garlic is still over there drying. But up in the garden, actually, before we go up in the garden, the electrician came, and I had mentioned before that like the lights up here we have, at least we have them wired, and we just need to get the outlets. But the electrician came and not only did the kitchen, but also got the wiring for these things. So yes, they look broken. I know. It's on our list to get them fixed up, but they are wired and they do turn on. So at some point, Francis and I will come out and kind of figure out what we're doing there. He's coming back on Monday to work on that motor box there, to fix the gate, as well as some other little things. I started doing some cleanup on this alley just because I know at some point we're going to end up getting this concreted. So I'm kind of trying to clear out my stuff before that happens. Up in the garden, I got compost. We had 6 cubic meters of compost delivered. So that's the darker pile there. And that definitely opened up a bunch of things that I'm able to do. As you can see, Francis did more weed whacking. He weed whacked all along this area as well. So that's all been cleared out. I've extended the weed block a bit. So he didn't weed whack under here. I just literally just covered it and things will just die in place. I am planning on, again, as I remove the weed block from in there, basically start doing the weed block all in this area as weed suppression. And that way that'll kind of alleviate some of the work that Francis has to do to maintain that. I did extend the path here. So all the cardboard's been laid out, the mulch is here, and the plan is to go ahead and eventually get it all the way to kind of around in that area. And I mentioned before, so the chickens are going to go here and their run will be way over there. So this whole area here will kind of be for the chickens. And the area over there is going to continue to be kind of a dumping ground for me, either receiving things for the garden or for us to pile stuff. There's a pile here as well that needs to move, but for us to pile stuff that needs to eventually go to the dump. In the garden, I've also gotten around to mulching the entry, so it's looking really nice. So again, I laid the cardboard out, I got the mulch down. This is the bed that I had previously planted. And then last week I was working on finishing this bed. So now this bed is done, and I've also planted the rest of my little things. And this bed is just, I still need to harvest, and it's kind of in hiatus now. But yeah, you can see there's a little molehill there and another molehill there. So we definitely have the critters who come and explore. We did have some volunteer tomatoes, the little mystery tomatoes that I did dig up and try to like replant. So that one's bit the dust. And that one there, you can hardly see it, but it also bit the dust. But this one seems to be doing okay, and that one seems to be doing okay. So, yeah, if I get a couple of them that survive, I'll call that good. And the rest of them are like these are the basil that I started. This is oregano that I started from seeds. So a lot of these other ones are kind of the super small tomatoes that I just had kind of left over. And we'll see if any of them make it. But like some of them, like this one here is already kaput. That was a super sweet cherry tomato. But yeah, so that's already kaput. And as they die, or prove that they're not going to make it, then I might backfill them with something. The cabbage is doing well, except for that, and that is obviously not a cabbage. So that was a little disappointing. All of these were supposed to be cabbages because I really like cabbages, and I didn't get around to growing them myself this year. So I figured I'd buy them, but obviously they sent me 2 cauliflowers instead. I haven't looked into how to grow cauliflower. But yeah, there's definitely a cauliflower in there. So we'll see how that does. But yeah, the carrots and the beets and the shallots, I need to get on that and do something with. I did clear up the weeds up here. So this whole area is looking a lot cleaner. We have I'm pretty sure this is Vinca minor, which is great. It kind of keeps the hill at bay. And we have some of the brambles are starting to throw their flowers. So maybe we'll get some of that, and that's my pile of compost. Yeah. So I think that covers what we did. And then I'm really, really excited. Actually, let me show you over here. I also, the sunchokes are finally like actually growing up rather than just being short. But I also got these planted out with my Roma tomatoes. So they are small just because like the weather's been really weird. We've had a lot of rain and not so much sun. So everyone over here is basically saying like their gardens are all fairly small still because there hasn't been a lot of sunshine. So I'm trying to stay optimistic. Sun will come. But I am really happy to say that I did finally have kind of a eureka moment with regard to the rest of the garden. So while I was working on here, I was also watching some YouTube videos, listening to YouTube videos, and folks are raging about like raised garden beds. And I didn't really want to do raised garden beds, but the double dug beds are so much work. And I'm tired. So I really don't want to do double dug beds anymore. I am going to do one more double dug bed here. So this bed will have a partner that will go here. and that will be my 4th bed. So I am going to start breaking ground on that. But I've ordered 4 raised beds. So there will be 2 going here. And then there's going to be a bit of a path that connects from the path that I'm on here to the path over there. And then there will be 2 more raised beds that will be on the other side, because I plan to have this path. So if I stand in this path will continue straight above me, in front of me, and then on this side will be the final in-ground bed, and on this side will be 2 matching raised beds to the ones that I just described over there. And I'll go ahead and throw a picture of what that will look like. Those beds are going to be 240 centimeters long by 120 centimeters deep and 60 centimeters tall. And while I was watching or listening to these YouTube channels, somebody had mentioned that if I plant my carrots more than 60 centimeters above the ground, then I don't have to worry about some bug that affects the carrots. And then I can basically plant carrots all year round. So I thought that would be really cool. So I'm getting those. So there's going to be 4 that go along here. And then that will leave a little bit of a gap up in here where I am planning on getting a double composting, like rotational composting system, which will get put basically along the fence line there, which is part of why I'm saving this stuff, because I want this stuff to go into that compost bin. And basically all of the stuff that I end up weeding from in here, I'll put into that bin. And that way I'm hoping that that bin will create compost a little faster than the bins that I have way over there. I have those 3 cubes, which I fill up with like branches and things like that that don't decompose quickly. So that's sort of my long-term compost is way over there. The rotating bins I'm hoping will produce faster compost. And in the meantime, having the elevated beds will allow me to make use of the rest of the native dirt that's piled there, as well as the native dirt that I will have to dig out of the bed here. Because when I do that double digging process, like it aerates the ground, but also I want to remove some of that clay so that I can amend it with compost and other organic things so that it's not so clay, like sticky clay, gooey. So that's the plan. And I'm excited because next week, I'm basically going to be kind of like cleaning up, putting more mulch down, preparing, because the beds will be delivered probably at the end of next week, early week after. And I'll set those up first and then start digging out the bed behind me. So that's everything that's happened this last week and the plan for next week, for the next couple of weeks. Today is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to everyone out there celebrating. Also, this week was the 2-year anniversary of us landing in France. So I have officially been here for 2 years, and I will say that it's taken 2 years just to get all of the basic stuff together. At some point, I may have a video just on like that fiasco. But right now, it looks like I will be able to stay in the country, which is nice. And I even passed my French driver's license and everything. So I'm waiting for my French driver's license to show up. The administration has stopped harassing me for photos to prove that I still live with my husband. And we are, fingers crossed, going to be good for another year. And then I get to do this all again next year. So yay me. Things are coming, but that is it for right now. It looks like we're going to get some rain But yeah, that's it. I'll see you next week, and I hope you had a good one. Bye.